Hello and welcome to Linux Server Training Part 1. I'm Scott Petersen and I'm a long-time server administrator managing both Linux and Windows servers. Today I'm going to show you how to use rsync to synchronize files between two Linux servers. The prerequisites for this exercise, which you probably already have, otherwise you wouldn't watch this tutorial, is two Linux servers with rsync installed and internet, well, not installed, I'll show you how to install it, and internet access to download the rsync if you haven't already, of course. I'm using two CentOS minimals, so it's a small footprint, and the requirements for this exercise is two machines with network access in between. It can be either virtual or it can be physical machines. Either one is okay. So I'm using Hyper-V actually as a set with two virtual machines and just a small CentOS footprint. So a quick recap here is going to be, I'm going to install the rsync with yum and wget as well, and then I am going to create a test directory and some files, and I'm going to synchronize them between the two machines that I have, and then I'm going to set up SSH keys so I don't have to type in my password every time that I transfer files in between those two servers. And then I am going to create a simple cron job. A quick disclaimer here is that you use this on your own responsibility, and please do test this out in a test environment before you move it into production, please. Okay, with no further ado, I will just continue to install the wget and the rsync on this server, and the -y is just so I don't have to confirm anything. It does that automatically. So we install. I got a new mail. Nice. Rsync. I'm going to leave out the -y this time so you can see what happens. This time I have to click the Y. I'll type the Y. Okay, we got rsync installed. Let me just cron tab E. Yeah, there. Okay. First of all, I want to go into my home directory on both machines here. There we go. And then I am going to make a directory here. Let's call it rsync test. There we go. As you can see, let me just there. Okay, and go into the rsync test here. There's nothing. Let's create some files. Touch file 1, file 2, file 3. So now we've got 3 files here. And let's make the directory on our target server. Resync test here. No files here. Okay, good. So what we're going to do here is that we're going to just begin the very first and one of the most basic rsync commands here. And it's basically just rsync. In this case, we're going to use the B for verbose and the E for encryption, and we're going to use an SSH encryption here. We're going to take the source server, which we are on the left side, which is really important. I'll tell you why later. And synchronize all the files with the target machine, linux2.int. In this case, I have hostname set up to be linux2.int, and on the other one on the left side is linux1.int. Home rsync test. And then I add the password here, and 3 files are actually transferred. So that was one of the most basic examples here. Let's just add another file here, touch file 4, and run that rsync again. As you can see, it retransferred all the files, which is really not a good way to do it. So we're going to add another parameter, but we're just going to check that the file is actually here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to add the A parameter. The A parameter is a cool parameter. It's archive, and it is a junction of several other parameters. So you just have to use the A. But I'm going to show you that in a second. See, now it's sent first for the incremental file list. Let's take a look here. And second time, it will send nothing. As you can see here, it sent just the incremental file list, but no files. It didn't need to. Okay, so with that done, we can test the A parameter. The A parameter is actually A equals archive. Okay, so A equals archive. But what more is A? A is R for recursive. It is L for links. It is T for times. It is P for permissions, and it is G for groups, and O for owner, and D for devices. And devices is specials. It is these parameters here. So that is basically what the A does. So it fits a lot of commands or parameters down into this single parameter A, which is really nice. Okay, so yeah, let's clear this one here. Let's take a look at, we have 4 files right now. The 4 files, what happens if we delete, let's say, file 1 and do a sync here? What happened? Well, the source machine over here does not have the file 1, but the target machine does. So we should add another parameter, which is the delete parameter. This will also delete any file on the target machine that is no longer on the source machine. So now the file 1 is gone. We have one more parameter well, a few more parameters to take a look at. Let's just get a big file here. There we go. It'll take a few seconds here. And while we are at it here, we are going to do something else. We are going to create a file here, which is file 5. See, we have 4 files now. So what happens when we actually run the previous command again? Just hold on a second and we'll just take a look at that. The parameters that we're going to take a look at are the C and the capital P. So the C is compression and the capital P is progress. So we already have a lowercase p, but that was permissions. So the capital P, as I said, is progress, like this, for example, down here. So in a few seconds here, I'll just show you what is going on. Okay, so 10 seconds, 10 more seconds. Then after that, I'll show you how to pull the files, because now I've shown you how to push files, but I haven't shown you how to pull them. Okay, we're done. We got 4 files here and 4 files here. We've got file 5, but transferring, let's add the C and the P. Transferring will actually, as you see, delete file 5. So file 5 is no longer on our target machine. So if any files are added on the target machine, they will be deleted with the delete switch. Okay, that's important. And as you see, it took, well, it'll take about 30 seconds for this ISO image to actually be transferred. But I'll show you something in a second. Let's remove the CentOS here, and let's run this command again, but without the C, still with the P. There you go. 6 seconds. That's some difference, and that's because the machine doesn't have to compress the file into a smaller file. And there we go. Yeah, you got the files. So now that we have done that, let's just remove the file here again from the target machine and transfer it again. Let's do the rsync avp delete after. We are going to remove file 4, delete after, encryption SSH. Remember, the source machine is not home rsync. It is root at linux 1.int and then home, because the source machine is always the source machine. I'll show you in a moment why, but always remember that. Rsync test and do like this. Okay, and type in the Linux 1's password and 6 seconds again. And now you see it didn't delete the file before, it deleted it after. That's a nice switch. Remember that, delete after. That way it will delete all the files after if you want that. Okay, so here I'm going to delete all the files. Let's just get rid of these files and see we have no files here. So somebody deleted all the files on our target machine, which is not really cool. If I by any means executed this very same, this one, on this machine, then what do you think would happen? I mean, you can definitely see we got 3 files here. So let's just do that. And it said deleting files. You said, what happened? Well, what happened is that you actually took this machine for being source, but not Linux 1, as I did in the previous example up here, in this one. So this is actually very important to know that. So source, target, source, target, source, target. Get that into your head. So anytime that you do an rsync, remember always which one is the source, and remember to connect to that very same machine with the source parameter. So it doesn't matter on which side you are, as long as you remember which one is the source. Okay, so now that we have done that, we know how to do the different things here. We have no files left here because we just deleted them. It doesn't matter. Let's just touch file 1, file 2, file 3. And let's take a look over here. We have no files, and here we have 3 files. So let's just not sync them just yet. Let's do a SSH keygen key pair on both machines, so that we don't have to log in all the time on either machine. SSH keygen, do it quietly and with a passphrase of nothing, and sorry about that. Just hold on a second. Okay, I'm sorry about that interruption. I just got a call. So I was doing an SSH keygen here with a quiet parameter and a passphrase of nothing. Just leave it to the default directory here. And now you can see that in the root SSH folder, we have 3 files. On the other one where we haven't actually executed the SSH keygen, we have only known hosts. So what we're going to do is that we're going to do the SSH keygen again here, quiet and passphrase nothing and default, and now we have the same files. So this will still not allow us to connect the computers in between here. So we're going to do that with the SSH copy ID. And we are going to connect to the root linux2.int and just type in the password for the second machine. And take a look at this. We got an authorized key. This authorized key is actually the public key from the first machine. So they will cross each other. So the authorized key from Linux 2 will, from Linux 1 will go into the authorized keys on Linux 2, and the IDRSA pub, the public key from the Linux 2, will go into the authorized key on Linux 1. SSH copy ID, and it was root linux2.int. Oh, not Linux 2, sorry, Linux 1.int, and oh boy, let's do that again. There we go. Okay, so now we have a, as you can see here, the authorized key as well. And that was the key copied from Linux 2 into this Linux 1. And now we can do an rsync without having to do anything else. So let's just do that straight away. As you can see here, it transferred all the 3 files very quickly. Nothing to worry about there. Okay, now that we have done this, I think that we should create a simple bash script. So we'll just go one directory up, the cd's change directory, and then we will do a vi sync files.sh. In this case, we don't have to do that, but I just like to name them. We could exactly do it like that again. And then we're going to add a bash parameter bin bash and the rsync, and we are going to do the ab p in this case, and then we are going to add a delete and the e for encryption ssh, and we are going to use the home directory and the rsync test and root linux2.int home rsync test, and that is actually it. Just for the fun of it, let's just echo out here, say echo synchronizing directory here, and we could say sdir and with tdir, and sdir is the source directory and tdir is, so here sdir, that's what I'm going to do. The sdir is the home rsync test, and the target dir is the root linux2.int home rsync test there. And I could actually switch this out with parameters. So this would be the sdir with the tdir. There we go. Okay, that makes it a little more readable. Let's just cmod this one 755, so it's executable. We can't do that right now, so you can see we can just try to run the sync files here, but it won't do that. See, it won't even allow me to do anything about it. So let's just cmod that 755 with the sync files, and then let's do that again here. Sorry, there. Now you can see it's synchronizing the two different directories, and it actually said it all. So let's just go into the rsync test directory and take a look at what we have here. Files. We have file 1, 2, 3. Let's touch that with the file 4 there, and let's run that. Let's run that again. There we go, and it's sent file number 4. And let's remove the file 1 there and do that again, and it deleted the file 1 here. Good. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to add that to the cron tab. Here, the cron tab edit would be editing the current user's cron tab. I wouldn't do that on my server. I would probably put it into the etc cron.daily or cron.hourly or whatever you want, even weekly. Depends on your backup job or whatever you want to use with this job. So here I would say, okay, run every minute of the hour of the day of the week and weekday, I think it is, and run the home sync files.sh, and that is basically it. And now you can see that it will run in 45 seconds. So let's do something in between. So we got 3 files here on both machines, but let's add touch file 1, file 5, file 6, and let's remove file 3. Yes, now we got file 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and over here we got file. Let's just watch this one there. See, in a moment here it will actually, yeah, 5. There you go, and we got all the files on our second target machine here. So that is actually what I have to offer right now. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, please let me know down below in the comments. Also, if you have any requests or anything that you would like to know besides this kind of tutorial, let me know as well. And subscribe to my channel and click the bell as well to receive notifications whenever I do new videos. Have a nice day.